Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sir Brady Podcast where we talk all sorts of things, films, movie, comics, TV shows. I am your host, Paris Renalson, also known, I made my last name wrong, Paris Renalson, also known as Sir Brady, and with me as always is my co-host, Cahan Martin. How are you?
I'm good, Paris. How are you?
I'm good because this is the fourth time we've tried to start this episode.
Yeah, 4, I think.
Yep. So, if I edit it, you may get to hear the other bad intros.
Yeah.
But
number 5.
Number 5. Hey, it's episode 5, so this is the 5th intro. It was fate. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Except this is the 4th intro.
Okay.
Let's do another one.
Let's do another one. That's not. Today we got some news. We're going to talk about a few things, and then we're going to do the thing we were going to do last time,
Yeah,
but we didn't do because we cut it short. Which is the best and worst Threequels, which is the third film in, the third film in the franchise and the best ones, the ones we sort of think are
so
the
the best and the worst ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
So pretty much just ranking the Threequels.
Pretty much.
Okay.
We're going to talk about all the best ones, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, all the best.
Yep.
But first, let's talk about some money. Black
Money.
Panther has been out for 2 weeks now. Yes, 2 weeks now, because I went and saw it after the last episode.
Yes, who hasn't seen it?
Yeah, I guess you haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't.
You want
Sort of Greatest Showman again.
Did you really? Oh
Yeah.
man! And I sent you that thing. There's sing along. It's at Reading Courtney.
Yeah.
It's at Reading
Really
Courtney.
today?
Yeah. No, it's not today. It starts during the week.
Oh, it doesn't? I'm going.
Your face went so serious. It was
Yeah.
the funniest thing.
What, a chance to sing my favourite songs in theatres?
Yeah. Well,
so?
I guess it's the. Anyways, yeah, Black Panther is on the second week. You wanted to watch Thor before you ended up going to see Panther.
Yeah.
Which it's on digital download now, so
Yeah, I'll probably catch it
You
soon.
need to catch that so you don't miss out on this before
Yeah.
Infinity War. But let's talk some numbers. I have seen it. I'll talk about the film briefly at the end without any spoilers. But at the moment, we're looking at Box Office Mojo, and domestically in the United States, it has done 291 million. Foreign, it has done 228 million. Giving it an O.
For a total of 520 million.
Which is...
I just wanted to say something.
You,
I'm not going to get a chance when it comes to Black Panther, so...
which is absolutely... It is the largest opening...
A lot of money.
For the MCU, for an MCU film. And
Yeah.
that is already $500,000.
Yeah.
Half a bill, sorry.
Yeah.
Which is... For a second weekend is incredible.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. And absolutely... I would just say it now.
It's going to be incredible
I love
until,
the
like,
film.
Infinity War comes out.
Yeah,
Imagine
absolutely,
that.
yeah. But I love the film, and I think it deserves all the money.
It seems great.
Yeah, it is.
It seems colourful.
Yeah.
That's what's got me excited.
And it's done well everywhere, which I think is the next best thing. I think if it doesn't do well, if it does well in some parts of the world, I feel like if unanimously everyone likes it, that's a better positive than just getting a certain group of people liking it.
It's not just like America and China really.
Yeah, because that's where
it's got like an inflated box office income, but it wasn't everywhere.
Yeah.
Like every country is quote unquote pulling their weight.
Yeah, and the reason, things like Transformers, Age of Extinction,
Last Jedi,
yeah, the last one. I only say the last one because I didn't see the last night. So the last one to me is still Age of Extinction.
Yeah.
But that only got $1 billion due to its marketing towards the Chinese market.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, but I think it's not as positive when you think of it that way than getting $1 billion because you're a good movie.
Yeah, and everyone everywhere saw
and a good
it.
message as well. So that's Black Panther at the moment. Let's talk about another Black Panther, Joss Whedon.
What?
I needed a segue. Joss Whedon, you've heard of him.
Yes.
Do you know him?
Not personally.
Okay, cool.
He's a great guy. It's just a haircut or a change of haircut, but...
Are you a fan of his work?
Nah, I think the Avengers is a bit long. Of course I like his work. He gave me this look.
Do you like Buffy? You a fan of Buffy?
I love Buffy. Haven't watched all of it, but I love what I've seen of it.
yeah.
Haven't got the time to watch it. I should go back to it.
I'm nervous to go back because I feel it won't hold up, maybe. Oh, maybe it will.
I like Angel out of Buffy, though, so I'll probably watch the Angel TV series.
But Joss Whedon was initially helmed after he jumped onto Justice League to direct a Batgirl film, and that's no longer a thing. He's not
And
gonna...
Zack Snyder likes it.
Yeah. There was some people like jumping onto this weird made up
Notion.
like battle between Whedon and Snyder, which I don't think exists.
Yeah.
But for some reason there was a post about Joss Whedon leaving the Batgirl project as director, and then on whatever social media, I think it was Twitter, Zack Snyder liked it.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my god, he likes the fact that Joss Whedon... No, he just saw the post.
Yeah.
It's related to DC, a thing he's a part of, so he liked the post. But how do you feel about Joss Whedon's involvement in DC? Do you think it's too good to jump on both sides? Or
I don't know. I think if it was just Joss Whedon and like Zack Snyder wasn't there, I mean, yet again, this kind of fuels the whole conflict that you think's made up. But
Yeah.
you know, they're so contrasting in like tones and how they approach, you know, comic book things from my point of view at least, that it just gives off like like Justice League. Just like from what I've seen, from what I've heard, it's quite not bouncy or right, but there's quite tonal shifts in that film, you know, and it just it just brings to light the differences between the two of them, and because they're so different, it's just a bit odd,
right?
You know, when they're working in one cinematic universe, which I believe should have an overall feel to it,
Right. Yeah.
you know, like obviously the Avengers, Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's all very I mean, it's serious action and stuff, but it feels like it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right. Yeah. I feel that.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's the feel of everything inside that universe, and that's the feeling of the universe that is with the DC EU. Is it DC?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got like Batman vs Superman, which was like really dark. Justice League, which is kind of light. Wonder Woman, which was kind of felt like a Marvel film, not in a bad way, and Man of Steel, which was somewhere between Wonder Woman and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
You know, and so you haven't got even though it's only 4 and there's Suicide Squad, which was like really dark. Even though you're only 5 films in, there's no tonal set for the universe.
It's all over the place.
You know, and having Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder come in and continue making films in this universe, it doesn't feel like if they continue to do that, there won't be a balanced feel. Because Joss Whedon will do the Joss Whedon thing, and Zack Snyder will do the Zack Snyder thing, and it will just be this weird kind of feel to all of it.
Right. You know, my whole idea around Whedon and the DC stuff, you know, it's I say this a lot. It's you need to mix up the directors, and I don't think that's got anything to do with the tone of the film. I think the reason why Marvel's kept a consistent tone has got a lot to do with Kevin Feige, and his position as the producer.
Yeah.
And DC's just gone up and down, and I don't know. I don't think that Joss Whedon Zack Snyder thing is there as much, and I don't think
and like an actual conflict.
The people who are talking about the tonal difference of Justice League, a handful of them have never attempted to make a film.
Yeah.
So I think their understanding of how a procedure in making a film, how that works, is flawed. So they don't quite get how that works. So I don't know. It's up in the air. But him leaving Batgirl, I thought Batgirl was an interesting.
I didn't even know they were doing Batgirl.
Yeah, well, I thought that and when it came out initially, I thought that would be an interesting route to go and to follow the Bat family. But if that means because he's left, that means the project's not going anywhere. That may mean that they're trying to DC maybe want to do
DC dead end.
Yeah, you know, because they want to do a Lobo as well.
They
They want to do like the DC equivalent of Deadpool.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But wasn't Deadpool at the end of Justice League? Oh, Deadpool, sorry.
Deathstroke. I'm gonna stroke your hand because that wasn't good. But no, Deadpool. Yeah, so Lobo's trying to be the equivalent of Deadpool. So I don't know where DC they're trying to follow in the steps of someone else. Where I think that's the wrong thing.
Is Darkseid going to be part of DC EU?
For those of you who can't see, I've got my hands up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, because like last podcast I said I haven't even checked out clips from the movie on like YouTube and stuff. I have since gone and watched clips of it on YouTube and stuff. And like there's like the post-credit scene or whatever it was on the boat with, like, you know, so is that going to be like, is that going to be the point of the next Justice League film? But
I'm okay with that if it is. Like, I don't mind.
Like, because isn't Darkseid just like another Thanos?
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see just like...
And I'm keen to see characters like Cheetah to verse like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And I don't know, another version of Edward Thorne to verse the Flash. Keen to see Green Lantern. It's weird. I've got my hand like on my face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm alright.
I mean, that's what we talked about in the last podcast. A lot of people are not done, but they're not Marvel about it.
Ah.
That wasn't supposed to be a pun.
I know, but it came out as a pun in my mind. Let's move on from DC. Let's move on. Obi-Wan.
Yes.
This is funny. You mentioned this. You said you saw an article.
Yeah.
And then I read an article,
Yeah.
which pretty much...
Contradicting what I said.
So, real quick, tell us what you saw.
I read this article. I mean, I didn't even read it. I breeze read it. Yep, English. Breeze read it. It was pretty much that this dude was scouting out the... what's the word I'm looking for? In Ireland, where they shoot green.
The studio.
Yeah, studio.
Yeah.
A studio in Ireland where they're shooting Game of Thrones currently, but obviously Game of Thrones wraps up soon. Apparently there's this guy who might have been George Lucas. Might have been. The qualifications for looking like George Lucas are pretty broad, but who was scouting out the area to buy it, to rent it next for the Obi-Wan movie. You know, that may or may not happen.
Yeah. And then I looked at the article and it said that whoever said that they saw someone has no connection to George Lucas nor the Star Wars team. So somebody random's just going, hey, I think I saw George Lucas
On set.
But the other thing is, it could have been George Lucas scouting out for his next film.
Yeah.
There's no word that said connected him to the Obi-Wan film. Either way, how would you feel? Let's say it is true. If George Lucas was directing another Star Wars, you mentioned this, but how do you feel?
We talked about this slightly before. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, the Obi-Wan movie's ruined, you know, it's going to be absolutely terrible. You know, like, I don't think the directing was the problem with, well, it wasn't my problem with the prequels. I mean, everyone has a problem with the prequels. It's just a fact. Whether you decide to make a big deal out of it or not. But my problem with the prequels was the writing. The script. Yeah, and that's most people's problem with the prequels. And as long as George Lucas doesn't get his hand on the script, I think I'll be alright with it. Because I haven't had anything innately against his directing. Yeah. You know? Apart from... Did he shoot episode 3? Mm-hmm. Okay, apart from that really weird shot of Obi-Wan versus General Grievous. And like there's this really weird shot of Obi-Wan Kenobi's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
It just made me awkward, Apart from that, no problems with his directing.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm on the same boat. I would be interested to see whether or not he's actually interested in doing it. I've got a feeling that he's not.
Is he going to do a Peter Jackson?
Yeah, like I've got a weird, like I've always been on the field. This real quick, we'll talk about Peter Jackson, The Hobbit. In my head, I thought 2 films, and one of them by Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, that was my initial thought for The Hobbit. Yeah, get Guillermo, which he was initially involved with. And my thing for Star Wars is, if you get Lucas back, just get him to do little things. Yeah, because I think if he directs, being
part of the creative team.
Yeah, because I think he's a good story. I think that's something you have to look at for all of them. Because there's a difference between the script and the story.
Yeah, the prequels have a pretty good story.
Yeah, and I think if he does a story, maybe for Obi-Wan, or if he directs it, that could be interesting.
Just don't write it, George.
Yeah, just don't
Listen
write
to
it.
me now. Don't write it.
And I think the reason why I won't go into the I don't like going into Star Wars tangents every week, but the prequels problem I think was Rick McCallum, who was the producer, who was also the producer of the special editions of the original trilogy. I think he was a bad influence on George, and that's really what ended that whole franchise. But I would be intrigued if he's involved, but I think there's no one will come to mind where I'm like, don't give it to them to do an Obi-Wan film. Yeah. I think once Han Solo comes out, I'll have a more clear idea to be like, sure, give it to any director, really. Yeah. Because I think that's a,
Do you get the Western feel from the Han Solo film? Almost like a lone gun kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, because it's interesting, because that's what everyone kind of wants. Like a Western kind of Clint Eastwood feel.
This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
Yeah. But if Han Solo kind of has that feel, would you go there again? What Han Solo is like, would that in turn change the whole feel of the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie?
It could, and I think the Rogue One feel is definitely pouring onto Han Solo a little bit. Yeah. And I've noticed that with the trailer, and just the visual, the color of it has really stood out when I looked at the trailer. Again, I haven't seen the full product. I'm not going to be like, wow, this is just another Rogue One feeling movie. Yeah. You have to wait. And
you have to watch it.
And that was the other thing about the trailer. Any trailer, really. People, Lando looks terrible because he didn't speak. Well, okay. Han Solo doesn't look good yet. Okay, just wait.
Watch it.
Be patient. Rush Hour.
Yes.
You love Rush Hour.
I love Rush
I
Hour.
love Rush Hour. Jackie Chan, Chris. I think it's one of the funniest buddy cop, like, comedy action films of that era, of that sort of era of buddy things.
Well,
I
the
think
era's coming to a close by the time the third one came out.
yeah, but
But still, I love them.
yeah, they're fun. But Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan have jumped over the years, have said, yeah, we're going to do another one. Again, they've come out again saying it's still happening. They're almost ready to start
there.
shooting.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Are you skeptical because they're getting older?
I'm skeptical.
Yeah?
Because humor changes. Like, I mean, I know that's like, it's a weird thing to say, but what people find funny as a whole shifts and changes over time.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know, has the humor shifted so much since back then that will they change what the humor in the movie's like? Or will they stay the same and it will not be as funny?
That is a very interesting point. I watched Chris Tucker's stand-up from about
'cause that's a good point. Stand-up
4 years
changes.
ago. Yeah, and it was still quite good. And I guess Jackie Chan's comedy as well is very physical, and does he have to go up above and beyond again?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really interesting point. I think that the comedy of those films were accurate for that time in the States, and especially that first film. You know, it's accurate for that time
I mean,
period,
I'm not
so-
saying that, like,
Or
like that joke was only funny back then. No, it's still funny now, but just the whole overall humor tone of the film. You know, like, would it be geared towards physical comedy? Would it be geared towards, you know,
poop jokes.
Yeah, or you know, would it
We've
be more
degraded ourselves so much that we're just, we
or-
love a good sex joke
yeah,
and a good poop joke.
You know, and that's the thing. You know, is it going to shift to that kind of thing, and will that take away, or will it add to the film?
Yeah, it's a very good point.
You know?
My other interesting thought was Brett Ratner, who obviously directed the first three. I don't know if he's involved. He's obviously come under fire end of last year with that Harvey Weinstein effect of the sexual assault allegations, which we will get to in our next story. But I'm honestly just want to see Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker on the big screen again. You know, they've really not had a
there's
huge
three films actually that came out. As you said, they've been popping in and out of years for years. You know, there was three films that I like. One day I just scrolled movie news, and there was three films that all kind of had movie news on the same day, and there were three things that I really wanted to see again.
Yeah.
Like, and that was Rush Hour. That was National Treasure.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want to see National Treasure 3, and the third one was just in my head. Oh, I'll come back to it. But you know, just like those three things, you know, I want to see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like, because I just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And even if it's shit, I'll probably enjoy it.
I feel that. Brendan Fraser, who we jokingly like to call Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
This is not a situation where I'm going to do that, but Brendan Fraser, who had some great hits late 90s, early 2000s with George of the Jungle, with the original Mummy films.
I really like that one where Dudley Do-Right's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And what's the one he does with... I can't remember her name, but she plays the devil, and she gives him... He's like a nerd, and she gives him 7
that was the
riches.
next
It's
one I
like...
was thinking of.
It's unsomething.
Yeah,
it's
another good one. And I remember watching him in one of those Looney Tune live action movies as well.
Oh, I love that Looney Tune live action film.
I can't remember what it's called. But
Brendan Fraser had some real serious comedy timing.
Yeah.
Like, you can teach anyone comedy, you can teach anyone to say a line properly, but like, timing is really important in comedy, and I just always felt that he had that.
Yeah, he was a fun frontman, and it was a shame after a few years he sort of dropped off the map. The last time I recall seeing him, I don't remember where this. I think there was the third Mummy, and he briefly appeared in the first G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah, and he did a comedy called Fury of Vengeance.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and I didn't like that. But
and then he sort of dropped off, but he came out...
without going into too much detail, but he came out and announced that he was, for lack of a better term, sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very broad term, but...
Yeah. It wasn't as severe as
wasn't
some of
severe.
the others had come out, but he came out and said
accosted, is that the word?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so he came out during last week, and he spoke about his sort of encounter with the former, I think he's former,
Hope he's former.
president of the Hollywood Foreign Film Association, which is the people who organize the Golden Globes. And he sort of spoke about that sort of being an incident that sort of haunted him and sort of followed him still to today.
Yep, he had an encounter with that man. If you want to just research it yourself, we won't go into detail. But it had quite the effect on him. He didn't go into depression for a little while.
Yeah, in and out of depression.
He was struggling both personally and professionally.
Yeah, and I think it attributed to him, not necessarily his career in a sense, but I think there's never one thing that sort of makes your career sort of fall off a little bit, but it was a part of it.
It was part of maybe a sequence of events or something.
Yeah. But
I mean, we could speak for hours on how wrong and disgusting this is, but when it comes down to it, it's just sad.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know, that's sad that over the past year, 2 years, you know, and obviously this proves it's not just women, that all these secrets have been hidden from us.
Yeah.
You know, and the sad thing isn't that our illusion of a perfect Hollywood is shattered, and it's the fact that, you know, it happens to these people.
Yeah.
And it happens to the people you'd least expect it to happen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that is, it almost brings something, makes it real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just sad, and it's really, just one word, sad.
Yeah, and for someone like Brendan Fraser, who I sort of grew up on, there was a lot of those PGM films that when you're 7, 8, 9, and you're sort of trying to mature.
God, I remember when I first watched The Mummy.
Yeah, you know, and you sort of grow up on those films, and to know behind the scenes that people like Brendan Fraser or people like even Terry Crews was another one, another guy that came out.
Yeah,
and and again, it's obviously both ends, and I think it's a heartbreaking thing to know about an idol, and I sort of I give him my kudos to him for coming up and talking about
bravery for doing it.
Yeah, and fingers crossed that we see him in something again.
The Mummy, come back.
Yeah, come back and do the Mummy. Get out of there, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Next, Halloween. We briefly talked about this a few weeks ago. Jamie Lee Curtis was back for Halloween.
I was going to say, man, it's only February.
Yeah, I know, but Jamie Lee Curtis was back. They have now wrapped filming.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not 100% sure that we haven't had a lot yet about it. It's coming out in October.
Of course, Halloween.
Yeah. So you seen Halloween? Do you like Halloween? What do you like?
I like Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know, like all teenagers, I went through that massive horror phase.
Yeah.
You know, where I watched everything, and Michael Myers wasn't up there for me, but I really liked them.
Yeah.
You know?
They're fun films, and I think I got to study the horror genre, the slasher genre specifically last year at school, and we sort of looked at Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Psycho, and Scream. And Halloween is one of those pioneering horror films that sort of adopted and created a lot of the things that carried on into other films, the phallic weapon, the masked assailant, the screaming woman, the savior. It sort of grounded those things in the
blueprints.
Film. Yeah, and then that was then later utilized by other horror films. So I give it credit, and Jamie Lee Curtis is a great actress, and I'm excited to see her back in this.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a cool, nostalgic sort of fun return to that franchise, which I'm all for.
Do you know how Ash from in the end of the Evil Dead?
Yeah.
You know, Ash was in the post-credit scene.
Yep.
It was like groovy or something like that. We haven't seen him since.
Have we not?
No, he hasn't been in a film or anything, I don't think.
Oh.
You know?
Oh.
I thought they were really going to go somewhere with that.
I'm sorry.
Because obviously Evil Dead was on Sky the other day. You know, and I just sat down and I watched it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Incredibles!
Da-da-da-da-da. I love... The Incredibles is my favorite... Oh, it's my favorite Disney and Pixar. No, okay, for now it's my favorite Pixar film.
Okay, yeah.
I love The Incredibles.
I can't say the same.
Then you get out.
Good film, go watch it.
Yeah, it is. But The Incredibles 2 got a trailer, finally. It's been over 10 years, and we finally got the trailer for another Incredibles. It's not your favorite, but I'm sure.
I'm still excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just love seeing that family again. It's cool that they're taking...
The emphasis on the whole family again, hey?
Yeah.
And that trailer was not what I was expecting. You know, I was expecting like a family superhero team up kind of thing, eh?
Not Bob being put back in home
and like
with Jack and
she's off doing the cool stuff.
Elastigirl's out there. Oh man, it's so good. And it's cool to hear their voices again, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's something that stood out, Holly Hunter and Craig T. Nelson and Sam Jackson
Yeah.
is back, obviously. And,
Where's my super suit?
oh man, it's just so good to hear those voices again, and it's cool.
In the context of this animation, it's not like we haven't heard Sam Jackson's voice
Yeah,
since
yeah.
we last saw The Incredibles.
yeah.
But the
I'm
characters,
just-
because you love these characters so much, and you enjoy the mannerisms that they have and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's just good to see it back again.
Yeah. And I'm happy that's taking place right after the first one. Like the Underminer is going to be the initial villain. It looks like they're going to encounter him more than once.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
The
and,
Underminer.
oh, it's just I'm pumped. I'm psyched.
Yeah.
I'm really
Words can't express.
yeah. Last but not least for the news, Transformers. After the Bumblebee solo film at the end of the year, it's going to be rebooted.
Oh yeah, did I read that right? Oh, Transformers reboot. This is the first time in a while that I've been excited about a Transformers thing. I mean, like, I've never been as big on Transformers as you have been.
No.
Never, ever. But I like the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Just one sentence. No humans.
Yeah.
Transformers reboot, no humans.
humans.
And then
I'm
you're
for it, yeah.
infinitely better than probably all the other Transformer films we've gotten so far.
And combined.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah, and I'm hoping that. Yeah, for me initially, I'm like, okay, why wouldn't they make the Bumblebee film the stepping off point for?
Yeah.
But at the moment, there is. If you go to the Wikipedia, there's like 20 people in the human cast, and like Bumblebee's the only Transformer. I'm like,
Oh.
oh yeah, no, leave it behind. But I'm all for it, and I'm even interested if they want to do that. And
So it's like a prequel wrap up.
yeah,
You know, like obviously this takes place before all of it. So this is how Bumblebee, the character we introduced, came to Earth,
Yeah.
and it just wraps everything up.
Yeah.
And then a new one, but maybe they should wait a while too.
I hope so. But I'm also just, I think the whole stigma of Transformers really wore off. They
Yeah.
last night did not get as much money as
Yeah.
I think got like 700.
People got over it.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously things come and go.
Yeah.
But if things are consistently bad, they'll go faster.
For 10 years, it was
Yeah.
consistently bad.
They'll go
And I
faster.
like elements of, especially 3. I like elements of 1 and 3. But yeah,
Yeah, and things will fade faster.
come back for a reboot.
Yes, in 10 years. No, studios haven't got that kind of patience.
No, they don't.
We'll get the reboot
But there's
by
a possibility
2021.
that Hasbro Paramount will be doing G.I. Joe Transformers crossovers, which
Ah.
is a really good comic series.
Yeah.
Which I recommend for those of you who have not read. Actually, a lot of the Transformers comics by IDW. Really good.
Yeah.
Marvel Comics also had a run for a while, which is also quite good as well.
Yeah.
So I recommend checking those out if you're a fan of Transformers and don't want to wait 10 years.
Hmm?
Let's get into today's topic.
Yes.
The burst and worst.
The burst and worst.
This is Bert and Ernie's cousin.
This be the burst and worst.
The burst and worst. The best and worst threequels. We explained a threequel is that third film in a franchise.
Also known as a trilogy.
Yeah, it's the third film in a trilogy.
Are we talking about the third film or just trilogy as a whole?
The third film.
Just the third film. Oh, that's interesting.
A third film in a trilogy, and maybe how that impacts that trilogy. Because it could derail the entire thing,
Yeah.
or it could just make it a great trilogy.
Tie it off really nicely.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's start with the top of my list.
Okay, we'll work our way down.
Captain America.
Captain America.
This is one of the most recent concluded trilogies.
Yeah.
With the first Avenger, the Winter Soldier, and then Civil War.
Civil War. Yeah.
I think.
I'm hesitant to even call. I mean, it's Captain America.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but is it Captain America?
Yeah, it's called Captain America.
Well, yeah, it's called Captain America, but I mean,
I think we. Forget
I personally
sometimes.
felt like I told you that, but I personally felt that Iron Man had more character development in that film. Oh, I mean, Bucky had the most character development in that film,
which
but
I think is why it makes
Iron
today's
Man-
Captain America film.
yeah, but like Iron Man and like the background character, hell, even Vision had more character development than Cap did.
But you still think about.
I mean, it's a Cap
If
film.
you think about Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
Falcon had character development, Black Widow had character
Yeah.
development, Nick Fury had character
Yeah, but
development.
none had more so than Captain America. Because Captain America, he realized that S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't what it was,
Yeah.
you know, and he went through a whole journey of discovering that Hydra was actually S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
That's a good point.
Character, you know, in this, at the beginning of the film, Cap was like, yeah, like, where's Bucky, where's my friend, don't want these Accords. And at the end of the film, you know, he was, I've saved Bucky and the Accords, shit, you know, even though they happened, you know. That could be down to the fact that Cap doesn't need any more character development.
I think he progressed as a character, but didn't develop. I think there's a subtle difference between developing and sort of. And I don't think he needed to add anything major to his character, but
but I still felt like, I mean, there is a difference, but I just don't feel like he went through a journey that you associate with a film. You know, I felt the surrounding characters sure as hell did.
Yeah,
you know, but not really him. I mean, it's still a Cap film, and it's still the best in the trilogy.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it. Like, I do. I mean, even though, like, obviously, if you watch these previous podcasts, I'm an Iron Man fan, but like, I love the Cap trilogy.
Yeah.
And I think they're one of the very rare few instances where they got better with every single one.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's funny, for some reason, when I think about Cap as a franchise, Winter Soldier is my favorite.
Yeah, you like the Winter
But
Soldier.
I like Civil War. If you go MCU, Civil War's higher.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
And that
That's
ties into what you were saying,
yeah.
you know. And I think that the thing, what the Russos did with Winter Soldier, and they sort of put into a bit with Civil War, and then we'll see with Avengers, is that spy espionage thriller element into an action superhero film, which really stood out. And 2014 really stood out for Marvel in the sense that Guardians and Winter Soldier both really
kind of
separated the superhero genre into a different sort of genre.
Yeah.
It merged other genres, and that's when it sort of started.
They gave the genre another pathway almost.
Yeah, and
like
that's,
this is our genre, and you can go this way and you can go that way.
Yeah, and that's where things like Logan and all those other Marvel movies really did that as well. And I think with let's go back to Civil War because that's what it's about. I think and I agree with what you're saying with Cap, but I also think the Cap franchise is a Cap Bucky trilogy, even if it doesn't
like Iron Man's about Tony Stark, Iron Man. Captain America is about Cap and his surrounding cast.
Yeah, so I think for Bucky, it definitely.
Hell, even Thor is just about Thor and his journey. You know?
I think Cap Civil War really worked on Bucky as a character, but what I think it did well was these two worlds of Stark and Rogers. They've always been connected in a way, and I think what Civil War did is it connected the first Cap film with Howard Stark and the Shield and the early stages of Agent of the Shield group. I think that's what that did, and it really brought that on because obviously the sort of friendship of Bucky and Cap Iron Man, and then the split between Iron Man and Bucky is really founded in this film and the Civil War.
It's a V.
Yeah, it is, and I think what's cool, you know, that whole connection between the three of them. Yeah, Vision does have some good.
Yeah,
but I think if you look away from the airport scene, I guess you look at, you know, and the way they utilize it, I think it really stood out as a conclusion for. It's not even a conclusion for Bucky, but he's now.
It's a conclusion for Captain America, though.
It is very much a conclusion for Cap.
You know, this is Iron Man 3 didn't feel like a conclusion. You know, I mean, and it's probably just due to the big reveal at the end that the Mandarin wasn't the Mandarin. Spoilers.
I thought you meant when the after credit scene where he's sitting on the couch and Bruce Banner's asleep.
I mean, if that was the Mandarin and Mandarin was put away, then it would feel like a tie off to the.
And unless you watch the short thing, All Hail the King, with
doesn't make much sense.
You don't get it.
But this really felt, and this has no precedence going forward, but it did feel like the end of a trilogy.
Yeah,
you know,
it did.
How from what I've seen of Thor, does that lead into more, or does that feel like the end of a trilogy too?
It does, you know, I guess.
Or does it feel like it leads into Infinity War?
It does feel that as well, but there's also this thing of it leads Thor off. It sort of sends Thor into this realm of like, I don't know. I guess
so
it
Thor's
does.
journey's not over.
It does. It's a weird way. It's like it doesn't feel like the modern send off.
Yeah.
Like it's not like how the Mummy and Dracula Untold did their Universal thing where it's like it's the end of the movie, but we're doing another one. So like Thor has this thing where it's almost like back in the day with maybe like Blade, and it's like it ended, but it's not like a complete brick wall stop. There is obviously more to come if we want to do it, and I think Thor can end like that, but Cap does it in a different way to Thor.
I feel that brick wall thing with Cap.
Yeah,
not in a bad way, but it's just like Cap has reached peak Cap. If that makes sense, you know, like to quote the movie.
I want to see you proven wrong.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, but to quote the movie, he did tell the world to move. You know, he did stay still, and he did tell the world to move. and he kind of gained that last thing, that Capness thing, you know. Yeah, and just, I mean, he probably might survive Infinity War, but it feels like, you know, if he dies in Infinity War, I'd be like, yeah, he's had a great journey.
Yeah, I'd be satisfied as well.
With Iron Man or Thor, it's like, oh, but what about the rest? What about that? You know, and that's not a discredit to Captain America. No, that's a credit to Captain America and this trilogy.
Absolutely.
It has given you a full story, so whenever it stops, however it may stop, you're satisfied with what you had.
Right.
And it is by far the best trilogy in the MCU.
Do we want to bring back the ranking system?
Okay.
Let's bring back the ranking system.
Okay, give me three things.
Hold on.
Have you got the ranking system?
Do I have the system? No, but all right. What is it? Real quick, let's try and think.
Your couch is bottom.
Couch is bottom.
Glass was top.
Glass was top.
Was it TV or laptop was 3 or 4?
Laptop was 2.
No, banana was 2.
No, that was at the bottom.
The couch is the bottom.
Yeah, no, it goes couch, banana.
Yeah, couch, banana. Couch is 1, banana
Couch,
is 2.
banana, TV, laptop, glass.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very good.
Cool. All right. So where would Cap rank? Where does Cap rank?
Which one? The whole trilogy or?
The trilogy. Yeah. So the threequel. Okay. First we'll do the last film and then the trilogy.
Okay. Last film is for me a laptop. And the whole saga is a laptop too.
I'm going for so Civil War. I think the thing with the film is okay, let me rephrase this. So the last film, how does it cap off the trilogy? Let's put not as a film.
Okay,
but
is that how it judges?
Yes.
Okay,
so let's
glass.
move it into one. So let's put both of those into one. So how does the third film affect the trilogy? Like let's rank it like that.
Okay. Trilogy as a whole is a laptop. How the third film attaches to the trilogy and how it's a that's a laptop.
Is it?
I would say glass.
I'm glassing it.
I would say glass, but as I said before, my one gripe with the film, and even though I kind of contradicted myself later, was that a lot of the other characters got more character development.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it's just a laptop. But you know, but as I said in this film, Cap did get the last little bit of Capness that he needed. So yeah, a laptop.
Yeah, I'm giving Civil War a glass. The trilogy as a whole, it's getting a laptop. There are elements of the first Avenger that pulls the trilogy down a bit compared to Winter and Civil War. And it's not a bad film. I just think... Ooh.
Yeah, I have to downgrade the whole trilogy too.
Oh no.
I forgot about the first Avenger. I did. We haven't mentioned the first Avenger yet.
We should
like
rewatch
the first Avenger.
Do you not?
Well, I mean...
Let's not go into it because this is threequels, but...
Yeah, I like it, but as far as like how I like Marvel films, no.
I think it's the third
Can I
film.
get a laptop TV hybrid?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get just a laptop with a big screen?
Yeah.
With a remote? Yeah.
So that's it.
Yep.
That's it. I've written X-Men both versions. So there are 2 trilogies in the X-Men. There is...
Sorry, just a weird thought.
There are 3 trilogies.
No. I just melded the laptop and the TV together. You know, what the hell would your couch and a banana meld be? I'm just sorry, because technically it's at one point.
It'll be too soft.
Yeah.
It'll be hard initially, then as you sit on it, just gets really, really mushy.
God, no.
It's a mushy
Never
couch.
mind.
It's a mushy couch.
Get off
There
this.
are 3 X-Men trilogies.
Yeah. Are we talking about all 3 of them?
Well, very quickly, I don't want to look at the First Class too much because I have not seen Apocalypse.
No.
But
I have.
I like First. I know Apocalypse is not as well liked as the other 2 in that trilogy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's quickly rank the trilogies and then we'll talk from them 1, 2, 3.
Do you want to go from early first trilogy, middle trilogy, Logan?
Yeah, we'll rank those and then we'll talk from the bottom up.
Oh, the worst to best.
The worst to best. I mean, this is probably confusing for you viewers
I'm
out there.
confused.
Think of it like we'll just talk about the trilogies and we'll just pick our least favorite trilogy and we'll talk about that first.
The First Class trilogy.
Yeah. Sorry, I made that way more complicated.
It is my least favorite, I think.
Oh, you don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it. I guess I'm like that because I only know 2 films.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna do it. X-Men, the original 3 is probably the least.
Really?
Oh my no! It's so hard for me because there are 3 films in the X-Men trilogy that are bad.
Yeah.
And I've still haven't seen, but I think Apocalypse, Last Stand, and Origins are the 3 bad films. That's one film for each of those trilogies.
For me, it's my least favorite's First Class trilogy.
Yeah.
My second favorite is my middle one is the Wolverine trilogy, and my favorite is the original X-Men trilogy.
Yeah.
So let's start with First Class then.
Okay, let's talk about First Class. You've seen Apocalypse, so...
I've seen Apocalypse.
Well, compared to the other two, compared to First Class and Days of Future Past, how...
It just felt like a weak Days of Future Past.
Right, okay.
Like, it did. Like, because you had the team up,
Yeah.
you know, and you had the people, even though they were new people, you know, and there was different versions of the people.
Yeah.
But it just felt like X-Men Days of Future Past diluted. Lesser stakes,
Yeah.
lesser villain.
Even though it is a bigger...
Even though it's technically a bigger villain.
Yeah.
You know, just the whole feel of it. You know, if Wolverine screws it up, the X-Men are done for. You know?
Yeah.
Apocalypse wins, he enslaves the Earth, but there's still X-Men lying about.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. I can't remember Apocalypse 100% correctly. So
Was
the
it how-
stakes
yeah.
felt higher. The movie just felt sharper. X-Men Days of Future Past, and it just felt like a diluted version of
So Apocalypse felt just weaker.
weaker. Yeah.
So real quick, just thinking about the performances from the three new versions of Storm, Jean, and Cyclops. Did that have something to do with it? Do you think? Do you think that did you like their?
I don't mind them.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like, oh my god, this is so awesome, you know, or it wasn't. But it's just like I've seen the final product before I've seen the final product.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, I mean, even though the timelines have changed, so they experience different things.
They may not
obviously,
necessarily turn into Harley Berry, Famke Jensen,
but
and
I've still
James
seen
Marsden.
Harley Berry, James
Funkin.
James Marsden, and
Famke Jensen.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
Stylish.
as a whole, what is the First Class trilogy rank? Oh, sorry. What is Apocalypse first? What does Apocalypse rank?
Apocalypse is it's a banana.
It's a banana. Okay.
It's a banana.
Trilogy as a whole, how does it rank?
So obviously this is First Class.
Yeah, Days of Future Past
Days of
and
Future
Apocalypse.
Past and Apocalypse. Yet again, a TV laptop hybrid.
Really? So Apocalypse does not pull that franchise right down?
No.
Okay.
And I mean, I wasn't as big on First Class as most people were.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're not a huge fan of
I
it.
mean, so without
Parallel to Captain America
Yeah.
as well, that first film. was-
without the middle one, without Days of Future Past, which
Mm.
I think is the best X-Men film,
Yeah.
and that's including the Wolverine. I like it over Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Without it would be probably the banana.
Right. Okay.
You know, just not 'cause they're bad films. They're just, yeah, I'm a bit nah on them. Yeah.
Without seeing Apocalypse, First Class, I do love First Class, and I love X-Men Days of Future Past. I that's my favorite X-Men film overall.
Yeah.
But I won't rank this just because I haven't seen Apocalypse, and it just doesn't make sense for this. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the other two though.
Yeah.
What was your middle? So the Wolverine,
trilogy.
The Wolverine trilogy.
was-
Logan's amazing.
Logan's
I
amazing.
think as a
Great.
film. As a film, and I'm really happy it's nominated for the story Oscar
Yes.
because the story's really great.
Wasn't it adapted screenplay as well?
Yeah, adapted screenplay, yeah, which makes sense because Wolverine's not real. But no, I think that the again, we talked about this last time. Daphne Keane is a great child
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
Patrick
She's
Stewart
not- yeah.
brings his warmth,
Yeah.
and a really like devastating environment.
Yeah.
He brings this warmth, and even
Fondness.
Steve,
Like this.
yeah,
Like it's terrible now, but remember how it was.
yeah,
And it's almost optimism. Like, think about how it could be again.
yeah.
And which is so innately Professor X, it's not funny, but that's what makes it great.
Yeah, and even Boyd Hardbrook as the villain, and even his small appearance, but Stephen Merchant as Caliban.
Yes.
You know that character as well, which is in Apocalypse.
Wait, say that sentence again.
Stephen Merchant.
Yeah.
As Caliban.
Yeah.
So Caliban.
Yeah.
He's
Just
in
the
it.
way you see it sound like Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. Yeah, Stephen Merchant is Carl Urban.
I was gonna be like-
so Caliban. So Caliban's in Apocalypse as well, which
Yeah.
is interesting. Different version of it, but I really like Logan, and I think it's a great conclusion for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I think it's a neat setup for those young characters, which I would have been interested in seeing a film of.
Yeah.
It is my favorite out of the Wolverine films.
Is it?
I really love
like
the
the
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
I love that as well. Yeah.
I mean, Logan is great, and it is the best film out of the three of them as a film.
Yeah.
but it's sad. I mean, and it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't take me out of a film or anything like that. But like, if I have two films that I view with equal praise or equal disdain, the one I like more is the least sad one.
Right, yeah. No, I feel that. I think the Wolverine has, unfortunately, not as many people witnessed it due to its action. The trailers made it come across as action heavy, but that opening...
There's a lot of emotion in that film.
That opening scene...
A lot of emotion.
My favourite scene in that film is the it's like a... It's
it was the pre-Logan Logan.
It was. It quite was. And
like, he was done. Mm-hmm. He was out of it. He did not want an inkling of it. But the only difference was, in Wolverine, there was something to come back to.
There was.
You know?
There was still the X-Men.
There's still the X-Men. That was still happening. Logan, there's nothing. They're gone. There's nothing left.
And he witnessed it.
And you witnessed it.
And I think what I like about the Wolverine is that opening scene where it's sort of three dreams. He's dreaming of his time in Japan in the war. Which war? The World War Two. Why won't you stop? Stop me.
War.
Yeah. So his vision of the war, and then he imagines Jean with him.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up in real time, which he's in some up a hill, up a mountain.
Yeah.
He's got this overgrown beard, and he looks
like a Wolverine.
The acting from Hugh Jackman in that film is that, especially the bits with him and Jean, he goes from being like shocked to sad to like a happy shock, sad, and like regretful.
Yeah.
But also, and the emotion that, and just in that, the acting, you really remember the. I guess you just sort of you feel Hugh Jackman's performance, and you really.
And it kind of makes Last Stand better.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't. In a way, it makes Last Stand feel more impactful.
It's like because you watch the first two.
Yeah.
That makes me. It's like, why the hell does he love her?
Yeah.
You know, it's like what you've had like almost very little personal interaction and stuff like that, and a lot of it is based upon, I guess, the time between the films.
Yeah, it is.
You know, but with the Wolverine, and you watch how devastated he is and how much he misses and loves her, it's like it actually makes what very few films can do. Post a film, they make the previous one better.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, and I think that's why I like the Wolverine a lot, and that's why it's almost equal with Logan.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's a threequel, but what Logan does, I think, is cap off.
Yeah.
In an emotional way, and if you go from the first X-Men and then to Logan, you'd be surprised at how that sort of feeling changes. But I think Logan is a incredible.
And I mean, obviously, spoilers. Logan does die in Logan, but yet again with that Captain America thing, if Logan didn't die, no matter what happened going forwards, you would have still felt like he had a complete journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's essentially what a threequel or what a trilogy or a saga of films is.
That's what you want.
It is a journey. It is not a story. A single film's a story. You know, a sequel, it's two stories. A trilogy is a book. Almost. It's a story. It's a journey. A big story. It's a journey, and
I think what you're trying to say is a film is an event, and a trilogy is a story.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's that there are different events, and then once
a film is a snap of that person's life, or character's life. Trilogy is that person's life. Yeah. It is the big thing that happens to them.
It's the arc of their life. Yeah. So I'm giving both of these a glass. It's
glass for me.
Yeah, I think the franchise.
Origins, no. Ending it's a glass. There is still X-Men Origins Wolverine in this trilogy.
The franchise is
a laptop.
God damn you, Origins Wolverine. Finally, the original
CGI glows.
Oh my god! Let's not talk about Deadpool. Let's not talk about any of that. That bathroom.
The bathroom scene.
Let's not talk about any of that. Let's move on to the original X-Men. Firstly, just real quick, okay, I haven't talked about it yet. The first X-Men pioneered the superhero genre that we've now become.
Yes,
that first X-Men film is the Halloween of slasher. I give Blade has a bit to do with it as well. The 2 years before it.
The Blade really doesn't count because if someone didn't tell you that Blade was Marvel, You would have been like, oh, it's not Marvel.
It's like an underworld.
It's like an underworld
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
But I think
An Underworld Blade crossover is awesome.
That'd be awesome. But X-Men really did well in that sense to turn comics, which for some people were quite kiddie and not really serious, into a serious and a
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a serious film because, you know, but what for me when it comes to X-Men and the original X-Men, what rises above serious is fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's slightly campy. I mean, just watch I just watched Toad fight Storm and the Statue of Liberty.
What happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Yeah, and so it is campy, and to a degree that is an effect of the time period. It's 1999, but it's fun.
Yeah,
and made it kind of cool. Yeah.
What I like about that and that carried over into Last Stand is Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
That's friendship that they had, which is then
Charles.
Looked at a bit.
I like the way he says Charles.
That's looked in the First Class trilogy.
Yeah.
Which I think works a little bit, but what you see in that film, in the first X-Men, that then carries over into Last Stand, is that friendship, that respect. It's like they're enemies, but there is that respect for each other, and
it's born of being friends and at one point, and you know, sharing a cause.
Yeah.
And all that.
And I think my favorite part, it's quite cheesy. Last Stand is not.
It's not Logan, but it's definitely not Origins Wolverine.
It's in the middle. Like it's the least. It's okay. It's enjoyable in parts.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene, and it's just a line, and it's in that film, Xavier is killed. Obviously, he's brought back later, but like Magneto provokes Jean to do it.
Yes.
But he almost instantly regrets it.
Yeah.
Because it was really I've only noticed it in recent years, but he just yells Charles, and then he dies, and it was that weird like crap, like he's not happy, you know. And he does say, I can't remember if it's in Last Stand or if it's in a different film, that he says never talk down about Charles because he's a good man. It may have been in the first one, but Last Stand, there's bits I like about Last Stand.
Isn't it in the Last Stand?
It may be.
It's one of his cronies or whatever you want to say.
But Last Stand, like you said with Wolverine, the Wolverine turned Last Stand into a better story in the end with that whole end bit with Jean and Logan. Also, it does a weird rogue Bobby Kitty Pryde narrative, which I wasn't too fussed upon. I like Ellen
V
Page.
is better than a triangle.
I do like those characters, but I thought the love triangle was unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's a Beast. First of all,
Wouldn't you say that a V is better than triangle in terms of telling a love story?
Wait, what?
Like V and triangle.
V and triangle.
Yeah, like love triangle.
Yeah.
One person there, one person there, one person there.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't you say, you know, for a weird sentence, I know this is off course, but a love V would be a better story to tell? Like, and by that I mean that, like, just say that, you know, there's Rogue, it's Bobby, and it's Kitty Pryde. You know, Kitty Pryde and Rogue come in direct conflict with each other.
Right, like the Iron Man.
You know, that's what makes it a triangle. They're not romantically involved. It's not a triangle, but they directly know each other, and there's contrast. It's just a romance story, or telling a romance. Wouldn't a V be better?
Yeah.
Where the only way that the two are connected is through the one person.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a better way to tell a romance?
It would. I feel. And
I know they went off kilter a little bit, but
yeah, and I think it was interesting, and I think another positive I like is Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Yeah, I completely derailed you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, I understand where you're going with that, and I think the thing I think that whole triangle was just an unnecessary addition.
Yeah,
and I didn't really build.
I mean, it wouldn't have been good if it was a V either. I mean, it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah, and it was an odd thing for Rogue because it was almost her story in the first one, and then
she did kind of have a resolution in the third one. She got rid of her powers.
Yeah, and I think, but what that did was that contrast that love story, which set almost like a push.
Oh, it also kind of
And I don't think that was her reasoning. She was always up and down about her powers.
I mean,
and I think
the story made it seem like, she hasn't got Bobby, so she's gonna get rid of her powers.
Yeah, and that wasn't the case. And yeah, it is related because the first thing you see of her in the first film was her touching that boy.
Also, is part of it because she can't touch Bobby because you know, and that's why she wants to get the chance so he doesn't have to be with Kitty, he can be with her. Yeah, but I know,
also,
it just didn't
now-
land, you know?
And again, Days of Future Past fixes Last Stand's road problem, and I like the road cut more than I like the original cut. Only, and it's only the rogue bits that are introduced. I think getting her and then helping, again, and it sort of makes that love triangle better. Again, it's that weird thing that Wolverine and Last Stand.
We're just going off kilter so much.
Yeah. It's okay. I like 2 better than 1
And 3.
and 3. I think 2's the best out of that
ending
trilogy.
of a trilogy, what would you give 3?
I'm giving it a TV. I think
It's 3, yeah.
as time it's wearing
I'd give it
out.
the same. I'd give it a
think-
TV as well.
I think over time the whole franchise is weakened a bit. X-Men 2 is still really, really good.
I would give the whole trilogy a TV laptop.
Yeah, TV, laptop, and
Yeah.
Let's move on because we got really
Nice.
complicated with that.
Yeah.
Here's your forte.
Oh yeah.
Lord of the Rings Hobbit. Let us,
Lord of the Rings Hobbit or Lord of the Rings in Hobbit. We'll go Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
because I think we can skip through Hobbit.
Yeah, pretty bloody
I don't like
easy.
any of them really.
I like the second one.
Oh no, so I do like
Desolation
the
of Smaug.
second act and third act of the Desolation of Smaug.
I like Desolation of Smaug. I don't mind Unexpected Adventure, or whatever it's bloody called.
Unexpected Journey.
Unexpected, thank you. And I'm not a big fan of Battle of the Five Armies.
I don't think. I
I mean, we're just going to breeze over this one.
Let's just rank it. I don't want to talk about
Hobbits discount Lord of the Rings. Go watch Lord of the Rings. You'll be much better for it. It's not a bad thing if you prefer Hobbit over Lord of the Rings. I can see why you enjoy it. I enjoy it. You know, I personally like Lord of the Rings more. Go watch Lord of the Rings.
it.
The ending of the trilogy, I would give it TV.
I'm giving it. I'm giving it banana. I was not satisfied at all.
I enjoyed the spectacle of it.
I do enjoy the spectacle, and that's the only reason it's
I
a
like the
banana.
spectacle, and I like the characters enough because of the second film. You know, just enough.
Oh, that's a really good point. I do like Martin Freeman.
So
I do like
I am
the
giving
viewers.
it the trilogy as a whole. Yet again, a TV laptop hybrid.
They're both TV for me. I don't think they stand out very much at all.
I like TV. I like the second one. I actually really enjoy it. It tickles a funny bone with me. So as the last movie is a TV, but it's a TV
No, it's not hybrid.
hybrid for you, and
a
you want
trilogy.
your banana and your banana.
The
and
film's a banana, and the
Franchise
trilogy is
is
a
a-
TV.
yep.
Because I just didn't. It felt like I waited because I still haven't fully watched all 3 of them since they came out.
Oh, yeah?
So I watched them all.
I watched
them,
the first 2.
I watched them all in theaters.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to wait. Like I wake up in a cold sweat sometimes thinking there's another Hobbit movie I have to go watch. Like
Really?
like I'm terrified of it. It just didn't satisfy me. The same.
enough.
Like Smaug was great in my mind, and
Mr.
Five Armies
Cumberbatch.
did not satisfy me with that conclusion.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at the end of Smaug, Bilbo was like,
What have we done?
Yeah. And then, like, Smaug was dead in, like,
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fine, all right.
Shit.
Although I did like Billy Connolly's brief cameo in...
Yeah, on this war hall.
that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Glasses all the way. I mean, if anyone knows me,
Yeah.
well, Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy, and nothing can say otherwise. I mean, it has its... Well, no, it doesn't have its problems. That's what makes it so great. I mean, I'm not ignorant to the fact that people might not enjoy it.
I think pacing, if you watch the extended versions, obviously, if you
I
don't...
mean, yeah, pacing is a
If
big
you don't
problem
connect
for
with a
people.
character, that's going to be a huge
Yeah,
problem.
so I can see why there are problems in the film for people, but like I'll have it like original trilogy Star Wars. You know, ups and downs. 5 is excellent. You know, 6 is good. 4 is boring for me. That's just me.
Yeah, 4 is quite boring for me.
But yet again, I can see why
People
OG Star Wars fans love it so much.
you do.
know, and it's and the same thing here. But I just think it is everything a trilogy should be.
Yeah.
It is a journey. I mean, and it is emphasized by the fact that actually they are on a journey in the films. But it is a journey. You have your starting point. You have your ending point.
Yeah.
It's not full of twists and turns.
No.
It is full of character development.
Yeah, it is. And I think
know?
that's one of the things
There's no new enemy
Yeah.
that suddenly they have to defeat. There is Sauron, and his enemies and his allies against the good guys. The good guys are losing. The only hope is this ring. Okay, they create a fellowship to take the ring to where it can be destroyed, and that's your premise. That is your premise, and from then on out, it is it is a tale. It is a journey. It is a tale. It is. And it is a story in its purest form if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and I think what carries me through those films a lot is the love for those characters. Yeah. And it's a mix of the way they were written, but also their portrayals. Elijah Wood and Ian McKellen,
everything
Andy Serkis,
during this production was
Kate Blanchett.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think the bromance of Frodo and Sam, and then
the bromance of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
Yeah, oh man,
Legally, I think we came up with a new fan there. Legolas and Gimli.
I love their
competition.
Yeah, the competition on the wall.
That still only counts as one.
Yeah, it's such a fun scene.
Do you know what got me so sad though? I watched the behind the scenes thing. Apparently that was Orlando Bloom's last day of shooting.
Oh no!
So now it's always like, oh. But
Liv Tyler as well was another good addition.
Everyone was cast perfectly. Everyone acted it perfectly.
Absolutely.
I can't critique the film. I can critique the film. Pacing is a problem for a lot of people with these films. It's fine. I get it. But it is what a film is.
Yeah,
it is a story. It is majestic. And just glasses all around.
And I give it. I agree. The third one is also quite a great. It's a great conclusion to that.
I love
journey.
the second one. I love the second one the most.
I think Two Towers is my favorite as well.
Two Towers is my favorite, but the third one's my second favorite.
Yeah, and I think it really just caps off the trilogy in the same way we talked about Cap. It really it gives a good conclusion to those characters, and it makes you feel.
Say what you will about the epilogue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Well, I did because obviously I did. But say what you will about the epilogue and how long it is, and it feels like it has 100 endings. But first off, I felt it's needed because you went on such a journey with these characters. But two, I mean, after I got out of my 12-year-old phase and I wanted to see like 50 sequels to it, I honestly don't care what comes next. Like, I absolutely don't. Yeah. This is where they are, and I love that with these characters. Yeah.
These guys found it. The Return of the King made the trilogy successful and accomplished. They've had accomplished, And
if you want to think about like outside just story and whatnot and all the technical side, just watch the Oscars from 2003. They won every technical Oscar you can for a film.
They're still the most wins and most nominations as well. And
because they swept them. But like costume design,
absolutely.
Creative team, CGI, everything behind this project.
Motion capture with Gollum, and the practical effects plus the visual effects. And that's something that The Hobbit, I think, forgot about, was the practicalness of it. It was a good mix of both practical and visual. Yeah. And it's an extraordinary
just glasses all around. Go watch it.
Yeah.
If you haven't, I won't critique you. I'm jealous of you because I wish I could go back and experience them for the first time again. Yeah. Because it is one journey that you'll never forget. Well, at least I won't. And just have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at Star Trek remakes, the Star Trek Into Darkness and Beyond.
Nothing on.
We have spoken about Beyond. This is why I'll make it quick. I love Star Trek Beyond. Yeah. That's another excuse to talk about Star Trek Beyond.
It's class.
I think I give. There are problems with Into Darkness, little problems which don't affect me as much, but I will give the trilogy a what's below a laptop.
I'm going to give it a laptop glass.
I'm giving it a laptop, the trilogy as a whole, and I'm going to give Beyond a glass because it is the way it has concluded. And I only say this because I'm not interested in another one. Partly because
I kind of want to see another one because I want to see more Leonard McCoy.
I would love to see that, but again, I'm almost like, if you're gonna go back, I don't know. I
love Chris Hemsworth, but he doesn't need to be in another Star Trek.
Yeah, and also unfortunately Anton Yelchin's not around anymore, and that kind of hurts a little bit because what they did with Beyond was they really made
everyone important.
Yeah, all 7 of them were important. Yeah, and that really stood out for that film compared to the way almost any of the original did
question. Who is your least favorite of the 7 in the new movie?
Oh no,
I've got one. It's not that I don't like him.
Is it Chekhov?
No, it's just I didn't connect with him as much as I did the others.
Is it Sulu?
No, it's Scotty.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he wrote it.
I love Simon Pegg. Like, I don't know if the trilogy's on here, but the Three Flavored Caneros trilogy.
Yeah, no.
Go
no,
watch
no, but
that.
yeah.
Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End. Go watch those.
Yeah.
They're all great comedies.
They are.
But I don't know. I didn't connect them as much as I did with the others.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if I had to pick a top three, it would be McCoy, Chekhov, and Sulu.
Oh, cool. Yep.
They're like the three. They're like the middle three. They're not the top three where they got like all the emphasis character and stuff. But they're like the middle three.
Do you know what this did as well? The same way Cat Civil War did. Is it tied in the first one and the third one quite well?
Yeah.
There's opening bits where they've been in space for a few years, and then they're having a drink. Bones and Kirk
Bones
are having
and
a
Kirk.
drink, and they're reflecting on Kirk's dad.
Yeah.
And I think that's another important bit of that story. And it's almost off. It's on this planet, and it's done really well. It's in a small space, but it's really well. It goes above and beyond in a way Star Trek can do. You know,
nice
it goes that way the way a Star Trek film can.
Yeah.
So yeah, a glass for the Star Trek Beyond, and a laptop for it as a differentiator.
Glass. I agree with the glass.
The Dark Knight trilogy.
Ooh, yeah. I go against popular opinion on this one.
You love Batman Begins.
The way you said that, you look like you have difficulty coming up with a way that I would disagree with people on this trilogy.
Do you like Dark Knight Rises?
Not particularly.
Made a noise.
Not in the context of this trilogy.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think it's just the weak one in the trilogy. I think it's the really weak one in the trilogy.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So it goes Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Right. Dark Knight
and
is my
that's-
favorite, obviously, because
And
Joker.
yeah. I mean, same here. There was a
You can talk about that for hours.
Yeah,
we will do a Batman.
we might just do a Batman special.
We will do a special, but we'll just let's gloss over this
I
quickly.
don't know. Bane was great.
Tom Hardy, yep, Bane.
Bane was absolutely magnificent. And he was the one thing about that film that I really, really, really loved. There's other things about the film that I loved, but I really loved Bane's portrayal. It made the almost unplayable character of Bane playable. Like, you think of Venom Bane from, like, the Batman Arkham series. Who the hell could play that?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, who the hell? But they
The
just...
Rock?
Yeah. But they changed it.
Dolph Lundgren from Rocky
Dolph.
4. I will break you.
I would blick. If he dies, he dies. But I don't know. I didn't get it.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I got it. I watched the film. I understood the storyline, but I didn't get it because it was almost a non-Batman Batman film.
Yeah, there was less Batman. Absolutely.
But when it was Batman, it wasn't Batman. Batman was like, shit, I want to wrap this shit up. I got to go on holiday with my girl. you know, I got to fake my death and everything. You know, I mean, and I'm not big on like I love different adaptations of characters, and sure, I do. But Batman's dedication to Gotham is so ingrained in his character.
Yeah.
That I mean, he's broken up relationships over it. You know, he's done so much stuff over this relationship, with his relationship with Gotham, that it made The Dark Knight Rises hard to grasp.
Yeah.
You know, which completely comes in direct confrontation with what I like about the trilogy, which is it made Batman human. Yeah. And obviously, as a human, you want to dedicate your entire life to one thing.
Yeah.
But, so I'm critiquing it for the reasons why I like it.
Yeah,
I know that sounds kind of weird.
Yeah.
And douchey, but it's probably like just why I didn't, you know, because it just, the first two was like, wow, this is as real Batman as you can get.
Yeah.
You know?
It was.
With the third one, it was sure, but yet again, that real Batman, he's still real.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the Batman that wants to protect Gotham until he's old and grey.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the Batman that, you know, in the comics beat the shit out of Superman when he was, 65 or 70?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to, I can't remember the storyline behind The Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight Returns, but because he's not the immortal fighter.
Yeah.
That you know, so he was real, but now I'm critiquing him for being real. But, yeah. That's just why.
That's enough out of you.
Yeah,
You're
sorry, I
contradicting
spoke so much. Sorry.
No, my thing with Dark Knight Rises was a lot to do with the conclusion of the film, I think.
Yep.
The Joseph Gordon-Levitt stuff with Robin, I like that name. I was like, piss off. I didn't like it. The ending, what I like, actually, I'll talk about some favourites. Yes, Tom Hardy's Bane portrayal. Michael Caine is not in it a lot, but there's a bit...
He's Batman's father. Did you catch that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit where he talks about loving Bruce since he was a boy, and he heard the cries through the halls, and that was a really lovely scene. And at the funeral of Bruce at the house,
Pulls your heartstrings.
He pulls your heartstrings, and it really makes me laugh. It reminds me why Michael Caine became Michael Caine.
Yeah,
and he's got a great performance. I completely forgot until I said that Morgan Freeman was a statue still in this film. He's in it. There's an interesting bit. There's another bit I like, which is when it wasn't the fact that Bane released everyone from the prison.
Yeah.
It was the bit between Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Gary Oldman's Gordon.
Yeah.
And it was that sort of Gordon's made mistakes, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think this ties into what you're saying about Cap, but I think more about this one, that the other characters like Alfred and Gordon got a bit more like story to them than Bruce did.
That's probably why, in context of character, out of all the movie films we've mentioned so far, I would like this the least.
Yeah.
In terms of how the main character was at the end of it.
Yeah.
Batman was like, shit, I'm in France. It's nice here.
Do you know what I would have liked? I would have liked if that scene ended with just
Selena Kyle.
With Selena, and you don't see either of them. You just see Alfred, and then he smiles, and then it cuts to black.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Did you see him?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And maybe he just smiles.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not sure what he sees.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a better ending.
Yeah.
And get rid of the whole possible Robin thing.
Yeah.
I think
You don't like that,
I just didn't think
it just kind of
in retrospect, the following year was Man of Steel, and then now we've got we got a new Batman. So in retrospect, it doesn't work. And it sets nothing up.
Yeah.
But
do you remember when they were like, oh, Christian Bale's gonna come back and play?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But, I mean, what an odd film that would be. That Batman with this Superman. Like the realest of real Batmans.
Do you bleed?
Apart from Ben Affleck's Batman. Because I feel like Ben Affleck's Batman is more real than Christian Bale's Batman.
It
struck the tone between comic and real.
Honestly, I think Christian Bale's Batman would have shit himself if he saw Superman. He would have like, oh,
my knee,
my knee. Oh.
But yeah, what's next on the list?
Yeah,
Do we rate it?
No, we didn't. Rises is a
banana.
TV.
For me, Rises is a banana, and the trilogy as a whole would be a TV.
Mine's a laptop. I love Batman Begins.
I mean laptop, sorry.
Yeah, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and there's enough I like about Rises that puts it up there and doesn't pull it down too much. What do we got? Back to the Future.
Oh, you'll be talking on this one a lot.
Really?
I haven't watched it in a while.
The thing I like about Back to the Future is I like the second one. I like the future. People back in the day, and I think it's kind of grown out. I think back when the two sequels came out.
Back when we were not alive.
No, we weren't alive. A lot of people weren't fond of the sequels, and they thought it's just Back to the Future.
Yeah.
As time's gone on, we've had the 30th anniversary. It is all three of them, and you watch all three of them, and you get a good kick. I like the whole generations of Biff. His granddad.
That's a good concept.
And it's always just like there's always Marty and there's always Biff, and they always have this sort of conflict. I really like Doc and Marty's their friendship. I think Michael J. Fox is really great, and Christopher. No, Christopher.
I was gonna say Reeves. We're still mess with Superman.
But yeah, they're both really great performances. As a whole, I think the third one, the Western feel was unique. There's nothing that stands out really from those films.
It's just another Back to the Future.
But I think it concludes it well. They get back to 1985.
Everything's great.
Everything's fine again, and he's home again, and he's safe, and his family's all happy, and Doc's happy, and he's with his girlfriend.
Hits on him occasionally.
Yeah. But he's happy again, and I think it's a cool way to conclude that series. So as a whole, I love Back to the Future. I'm giving it a glass just because I love Back to the Future.
I can barely remember the third one, so I'm just going to give the trilogy a TV.
Yeah. The third one is a TV for me because it doesn't quite hold enough, but it concludes it really well.
Yeah. Okay.
Spider-Man, original Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Nice.
I hate Mopey Maguire.
I love it.
He mopes. He's never struck me as a teenager. He's always struck me as a baby-faced man.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I like Mopey. I like Mopey Toby. And I love Emo Toby even more.
Oh my... I'm going to rush through this if you're going to talk about
I won't.
emo. Jeez, man.
I hated it first, but I've watched it, and I enjoyed myself last time.
Spider-Man 2 is the best one out of that trilogy.
I liked the first one.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, Green Goblin was really great in the first one.
I do like William Dafoe's manipulation of the
Yeah, because I'm not big on Spider-Man comics, well, any comics for that matter. So I don't know if it's.
Why are you on this podcast?
I don't know if it's a true portrayal of the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just liked it.
I wasn't a fan of.
And Doc Ock, the actor that plays Doc Ock, just always.
Didn't like him.
No, it's not that I don't like him. I just always. I'm always frowning when I watch him. I'm always like, ah.
The third one.
Lost. Paris is collecting his thoughts.
It felt long.
Yeah.
Venom wasn't Venom.
Sandman wasn't Sandman.
Harry wasn't Goblin.
Oh, you got to feel sorry for the Sandman, though. Eh?
I like the story of the Sandman, and that scene when he turns into the Sandman.
Oh,
that still holds up really well.
Yeah.
It is an incredible scene. And the music
how the
is great.
hell are that person operating an important facility like that?
Yeah.
It's like just a bird will fly away. What an assumption. That could have been anything. That could have been a baby. It could have been a raccoon.
Yeah, it could have been.
It could have been.
Things,
I mean, it just happened to be an ex-convict.
Yeah.
But it could have been anything.
It could have. Absolutely.
Oh, it's just a magpie. It'll fly away.
Yeah. There are moments in the film I like. There's a scene between Harry and his butler, his dad's butler or something. They're having like a conversation. And,
yeah, he's looking in the mirror or something.
Yeah, and there's a bit of that. The final scene, I felt bad when Harry was killed. When he died. I liked that last thing. Gwen Stacy was annoying. That Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Peter Parker thing.
Yeah, you can. V is better than triangle.
It just
in terms of telling romance.
No, but I don't even think they needed that.
I mean, it's like, yeah, you don't need it, but it would have been better if it was a V.
Stan Lee has a weird cameo.
Yeah. Okay, let's just rattle this one off. It's a banana TV for me. It's a TV with a banana.
The film is the film itself is a banana for me. The trilogy.
It is a TV playing Spider-Man 3 with emo Spider-Man holding a banana.
Just knock my books.
That is it.
The TV. It's. I don't think highly of the Spider-Man trilogy because of Tobey Mopey.
I love Tobey Mopey.
I don't.
You need an angsty superhero every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, we did get him first.
I'm not amused by and the thing is, Tom Holland's the best because Andrew Garfield was too cool.
Yeah.
For Peter Parker, Tobey was too mopey.
And he's the middle one.
And Tom is like he's done really well.
I just like Mopey Tobey. I don't know. Maybe it's his baby face that makes his moping so much more fun. But
it could be, yeah.
So for me, it's a TV banana on the last one and a TV on the overall trilogy.
Cool.
Oh no, a TV laptop.
Cool. I'm TV for the trilogy and banana for the. I don't want to talk about Matrix. I put it there, but I can't remember.
Okay. I'll briefly talk about it.
Go for it. Just rank
briefly
it.
Because rank it. Last one is a. I suppose like glass because you put the glass right from it. It's not a glass.
Is it better than Reloaded?
No.
Cool.
It's a. What's our middle one?
TV.
It's TV. I mean, it's mainly because one thing I can always credit the Matrix films for, no matter how much convoluted storyline there is that I don't grasp, it took me to a unique world.
Yeah, no, I agree.
A unique story, a unique world that not only haven't we seen before, but we haven't seen since.
It's been attempted, but no, you're right.
We haven't seen it since. Not done well since, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and for all the things you can shame against it, you know, it's not as great as the original one, or, you know, the acting became, you know, Keanu Reeves couldn't act for shit, or stuff like that.
He's a good actor, though.
You know, he's a good actor. Or, you know, it became convoluted. It took me to a place where I haven't been before. And I haven't been since. I mean, that's why I credit it. And the overall trilogy will be 3.5. So that's my good old laptop TV.
I'm giving. Was it Revolutions.
Matrix Reloaded, Matrix
Revolutions. I'm giving it a banana. I'm not fussed about it.
No, it's Revelations because it's Underworld Revolution, the third one.
Revelations, Magic, the third one. Damn it! It's a banana. The trilogy as a whole was a TV because I really like the first one. I love the highway scene in Reloaded.
Yeah,
I think it's a great scene. But again, those things are the acting sort of goes down a bit, and the story just confuses the shit out of me.
Oh, Toy Story.
Toy Story 3 made me sad.
Yeah, it did make me sad.
And the laughers coming and
yeah, that's the first thing that always comes to mind.
And also, Fozzie.
I also really like.
Fozzie? What's his
like
name?
Fonzie.
What's his
Fuzzy.
name? No, what's his name?
Oh, the pink bear.
Yeah, the pink bear.
What a great villain.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We can tell because we can't remember his name. The Fuzzbear.
I was gonna say Fozzie, but that's a Muppet.
I love Mexican or Spanish Buzz.
Oh yeah.
Lots
and hugging. Yeah, that's it.
I love
Lots of hugging.
It is like every atypical it's every atypical like action film or adventure film just for kids. What is it? Out of place characters go on an adventure. Adventure's not as great as you think it is. Bad villain, you know, you solve it. You escape and you do the good thing. I mean, it's not, I mean it by atypical, but a very basic storyline for an adventure or an action film.
Do you know what I liked about Toy Story 3?
It's like the Goonies.
Yeah, it is.
It's the Goonies for animation fluffy children.
Fluffy children?
No.
What sort of children have you met?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're not fluffy. Explain to me what a fluffy child is.
A 4. There's animation, it's fluffy for children.
4 fluffy children? What are you doing with the...
No, it's light, it's fun, it's for kids, you know, and...
I pictured a kid that got stuck in a cotton candy machine.
It looks like the Fuzzy Bear.
Yeah. You went finished, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, just, it's a glass. It's not a glass, it's a TV. Laptop.
It's a glass. I like Toy Story 3 a lot, and I think it concludes. They're doing another one which I'm hesitant about. It's a glass. It's a glass for me. The franchise, the whole thing's a glass. I think the Toy Story franchise is such a fun, such a creative, and really
scary concept. Your toys.
Oh God, yeah.
I
loved going into my room and like trying to scare them. Like, yeah, you alive?
Until they start scaring you, you're like,
yeah.
Shit, are they watching me?
Oh, it was the first film with
those freaky kid. Toys.
No, when he's like on the barbecue and then the first. Oh, that was great. But real quick, Hug and Bear and Jessie have this weird parallel. The second one, you have that flashback of Jessie and she was left behind.
Yeah.
And Hug and Bear had the same thing.
Yeah.
But where they went as individuals, they went
different. Yep.
They went different, and that was really a cool thing. I was like, oh, that's really interesting how these toys sort of go their own ways. And it was cool to see Slinky and Rex and Potato Head and Ham and all those characters back. Michael Keaton was Ken, which I really liked. I thought Michael Keaton was done for, and then he did Toy Story, then he did Birdman, and now he's back. He's back in the business. You know, he's Vulture and that.
Just don't do Robin Hood again. That's not Michael Keaton though.
No, he's Batman.
Yeah,
but no,
sorry, I always get Michael Keaton and
Chris O'Donnell.
No, and. Not Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood.
What? Kevin Costner?
Yeah, I always get him mixed up. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Kevin Costner! What a world!
I do. I don't know.
Oh, man. But no, I love Toy Story 3. I think it's a great conclusion. Yeah, glass will run. How are we looking at time? We're on an hour and 22.
Paper, Scissors, Rock. I got Pirates of the Caribbean. You got Born.
Okay. Paper, Scissors, Rock.
Yes,
you won. We're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. Alright. Yeah, we'll talk about Born another time.
It's great. I mean,
it's a trilogy to me. I've yet to see the latest one.
It's the thing. It's the Matrix thing for me. It is it's a world that I haven't been there before, and haven't been there since.
Okay. Yeah. Even though we've had 2 more.
Pirate film. think pirate film. Pirates of the Caribbean. Apart from that, Goonies is a slash pirate film, I suppose. What else is it?
Waterworld.
No, good old golden age of piracy pirate film.
Yeah. There are not a lot of.
And even then, it's not as fun.
The Muppets.
It's like
Treasure Island. The Muppets Treasure Island.
It's taking you to a place that you haven't been before in a way that you haven't been before. And I mean, say what you will about Johnny Depp, but Captain Jack is
a great character.
It is a top 20 character of all time in my book.
He's an amazing doofus. And in those three, there is still a humanity to him. And what Stranger Tides did, they went too earthy, I think.
Yeah.
But what it has to, especially in at World's End,
I love it. World's End.
There was a fear. And Davy Jones also as well. I love Davy Jones.
I mean, the thing is, Captain Jack Sparrow is a coward.
Yeah.
He's out to save his own skin the entire time. He doesn't care about the consequences. He doesn't care about other people. Not really. I mean, he does care about them, but you get in his way, he's going to pick him. And he still makes a douchebag lovable and awesome. And he is human, but he's also the way he holds himself and stuff like that. It's just like, yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You're chart man. I'm the captain.
That was great between him and Bubba, so that was a really fun element as well.
I mean, at World's End is a nostalgic glass laptop for me.
Do you know what Jack Sparrow does in all three of those films that he does not do in Stranger Tides, and to my knowledge did not do in the latest one, was that at the conclusion really showed that yes, he's a coward, yes, he's a doofus, but he's also like he does have a heart. You know, he helped.
In the second one, he came back. He was rolling away, but then he came back and helped the ship. Yeah. You know?
And in the third one, he had the heart, and he was gonna, and then he's like, I'll save Will Turner, and I think that was really, it was a cool
sacrifice. He sacrificed his dreams of immortality to save Will.
Yeah,
you know, and he's a great character. Once you think about
it, he is a really great character. But
it's a laptop glass for me.
So laptop
glass for the
so
that's a 4.5.
Okay, 4.5 for the film,
and then a laptop for the whole series. Oh no!
I'm giving it.
It's laptop glass all around.
I'm just giving it a laptop overall. There's still elements I don't like about the bird. Yep. I do like
laptop glass for me for both film and series.
I do like the conclusion with the whole series in that sense, and also I really like Chow Yun-fat's performance in it as well. Seamless cut.
Welcome back.
I don't know what we're talking about. What were we talking about?
We were going to talk about.
We finished Pirates Gaming. Did we rank it? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I gave it some.
I gave it a laptop glass.
And I gave it some laptops. What were you watching when I wasn't listening?
My God.
What were we watching when you weren't listening? You didn't really. You've been busy. I've been busy.
I've been busy.
I've been busy as well. I'm also back at school soon, so yeah. But what I did do is I saw Black Panther.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's great. Go and see it. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Nice.
Actually, no. One more thing. I love Michael B. Jordan. The guy's a great actor.
Yeah.
What else did I do?
Great enough that you wish he was Black Panther instead.
No, I like.
Yes, his role.
The performance was I preferred in those roles. What I did do when no one was watching was I watched 4 of the Rocky movies.
Nice.
Black Panther obviously came out. Ryan Coogler directed Creed, which is the seventh film in the Rocky franchise. And I didn't want to get into Creed without knowing.
Yeah.
You've been a fan of the Rocky franchise for a little while.
Long time. Rocky, Rambo.
Yeah.
Copland.
I love Rambo, and I finally got around to watching Rocky. I've only seen the first 4 so far. I'm getting around to watching 5, Balboa, and then Creed.
Balboa.
Rocky Balboa.
Balboa.
Rocky Balboa.
Balboa. My man, Balboa.
Barbosa. There's a lot of stuff
They're films.
Films?
You know, like Marvel. It's a film, but it's a Marvel film. You know, DC, Pirates of the Caribbean, Matrix, there's element of sci-fi, there's an element. These are real films.
They're sporting films, but yeah, they are.
You know, it's ground in reality, and not just day-to-day life. Like, it's a character that is as human as you can get. I'm not as human as you can get.
That's something I really liked about the story. There's something I didn't know was the fact that Rocky he knows he's not a smart guy.
Yeah.
And it's really
He knows what he is.
It's really clear in the first 3, I would say.
Yeah.
The Adrian-Rocky relationship. Adrian was this really shy woman who works in a pet shop, and she just didn't. We don't really know if there was an interest before, or whether she was just sort of hi Rocky, bye Rocky. And Rocky was this sort of upfront, but
just a thug.
He's a thug. He's a dumb guy.
Yeah.
And he knew that boxing was all he was good at.
Yeah.
Especially after that first film.
Being a thug was what he was good at.
Yeah, and he tried getting into other things, and he just wasn't good enough. And he wanted to learn to read, and Adrian wanted to support them. And that dynamic between the two of them was something that really carried me through. These films so far. It's something that's carried me along. Because the story is a bit. It's not repetitive. I think it is in a way. It is. It's the same formula. It is. There's a fight. Got to train. Got to fight. It's that. Except for
personal issues.
Was it the third and the fourth one has 2 fights?
Third one, he loses first, and then he fights.
Yeah, and then the fourth one, is Creed versus.
It's Creed and Drago. And then, Drago. It's not Drago. It's Drago.
Yeah, and then except for 3 and 4, where there's 2 fights.
Yeah.
The first 2 don't, but it is that same sort of thing. But the characters are, Stallone is really.
Stallone is Stallone, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, and that's his role. That was his role. The woman who plays Adrian. Initially, I was really terrified because she was quiet and Rocky's a thug. And I thought it was like an abusive relationship parallel, and I was terrified for her.
Yeah.
But obviously, she grew as she's grown as a character, and she's a bit more She's less
confident.
Less confident. No, she's more confident and less afraid.
Yeah.
Rocky's trainer was a real dick.
But he's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy, and I like that. I like it.
Yeah.
But he also had a heart for Rocky, and that's really adamant. That's really clear.
He was angry at Rocky in the first one because he's like, you had potential, but
and that's his heart for him.
But
and
you
in the
became
third
a thug
one,
instead. You could have done something special. You fight like an ape.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines.
And Creed as well. Apollo Creed is a
Carl
Weathers.
Carl Weathers. Yeah. Like he should have won something.
He's got a great
his performances in those. They're better than you think they are. His performances in those films.
Yeah. And there's something I like, especially in the second one, was he ignored his family. Yeah, that was he was so wound up in that, and I feel after he died in the fourth, I still felt he was still just.
And I like the feel of the trilogy. Like 1 is like, oh yeah, Apollo can't fight this guy, so he fights Rocky. 2, it's like Apollo's like, I won, but I didn't beat him. He uses those words. Good
line. Yeah.
I won, but I didn't beat him. So it's like, I'll fight him again. Then Rocky wins the championship, so he becomes a full-time boxer. And that's what the third one's about. Yeah. And obviously the fourth one's a few years later or whatnot.
Russia.
And then he's like, I've got to get back in the ring. And then obviously he dies. And then, But mainly the trilogy. The fourth one does tie into all of that. The fifth one kind of goes where, I'm not sure. But third, especially third, there is like a nice connection. It's like a story. I mean, we're just talking about trilogies.
Yeah.
It's a story that you can follow.
There are events, and then there's an arc.
You don't need someone to tell you. You can just feel it. You can understand it.
Yeah,
piece it together. You can piece it together.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch those, and I'm excited to watch Rocky 5 because obviously
5's not as bad as people say it is.
But it is weird, and I'm excited to. Poke fun at one, I think.
Balboa is really good. I like it. And
I'm really excited to watch Creed because Ryan Coogler for Black Panther and for Fruitvale Station and Michael B. Jordan, as I mentioned. And Stallone's character as Rocky. I'm looking forward to seeing that come sort of full circle like that. So,
that was the podcast.
What have I done? I've got on my channel, I got 5 things you missed. I've got a Transformers voiceover. I got another Humanities Trip vlog. There will be
and I have nothing.
You have nothing.
I'll see you in the next 2 weeks.
You will. But yeah, that's what I've got on there at the moment. There will be a random flux of videos. I'm getting back into school, so there will be an ups and downs. But the podcast will still be around because I'm good at this. You can find us on YouTube. I have stopped uploading to SoundCloud due to time. You can find us on YouTube. You're probably on YouTube looking at us right now. You see that face? That's us. Thank you guys so much for...
You're going to JPEG a picture in there, aren't you?
Yeah, I always JPEG a picture. Thank you for listening and watching. Thank you, Cahan.
Yes, thank me.
I did.
Thank me.
Okay, all right. Thank you for coming back.
No
and doing
problem, my
this.
pleasure.
It has been really fun. Next time we'll talk about whatever comes up.
Yeah,
I was literally going to think, hey, what can we talk about? But I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
We got lucky with this week because we have leftovers from last time.
Yeah, we do. That's exactly it. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, click all the buttons that you
Suggestions
can.
are welcome.
Suggestions are very welcome, and we love the communication as we mentioned previously. So let us know what you think. Thank you guys so much as always. We'll see you in the next one.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you have a great day. You have a great day.
I'm going to go out the door after this one.
Oh, okay. You're just going to leave?
Yeah, bye.
Oh.